Hello, this is Andreas from Nordic Tarot, and I've got 3 readings for you for the last 2 weeks of September. Please remember that even the 2 more specific readings, the love and the work reading, they are still general. So if they do not resonate, I'm sorry, but hopefully at least one of the 3 will. And you'll find more information about how to contact me and on the decks I'm using in the description. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy your readings. Hey Virgo, Sun, Moon and Rising. What's up with your readings for these 2 weeks, the last 2 weeks of September? I feel like you got some really nice cards actually. I'm going to start out with the Oracle card, which is the Thinker. It's number 44. The essential meanings are strategy, being analytical and logical. And for your general reading, the Oracle's message is the ability to reason and strategize is in focus now. Take things at face value and follow the logical path. Your calculations will prove to be correct, for in this moment there is no deeper meaning than what is obvious. Things are exactly as they seem. You have all the information you need. Keep it simple and you will win the game of life you're playing right now. I very much feel like this is about a new beginning. I suppose it's quite obvious, like you have the Fool, so yes, it's probably about a new beginning. Or maybe it's just wanting a new beginning. Maybe you're not there yet, but it's a journey here. But you have the 6 of Swords, and like there's a low level of grief associated with this card, but it's about a journey. It's, either emotional or actual physical journey, like maybe going on a trip. But I feel like you, Virgo, you're with the 6 of Swords moving away from something, and then with the Fool perhaps wanting to, or you are starting something new. So with the 6 of Swords, there is like this, the energy of a journey or an energy of movement. And then again with the Fool, there is this new beginning, a leap of faith, not necessarily knowing what lies beyond, but being quite excited about it. Like the Fool is one of my personal favorite cards. And then I feel like the Thinker is very much backed up by the Ace of Swords, because the Ace of Swords is victory through the truth. So I also feel like it can be quite reassuring with the Fool, because it is a leap of faith. It's not like necessarily knowing what lies beyond, but then you do have the Ace of Swords there to like use this to cut away at the unknown and find out with the truth. It's like a new way of thinking. So yeah, there is this like moving away from something old with the 6 of Swords and the issues that come with the 6 of Swords. Because in the original Rider-Waite deck, the 6 of Swords show, I think it's 3 people in a boat, and the water closest to the viewer is agitated, and it's kind of talking about like emotional turmoil or coming from rough seas. And of course water being our emotions. And then beyond the boat is calmer seas, more tranquil, but the swords are stuck in the boat, kind of obscuring the path or the way or what lies beyond. But you also realize that if these people were to remove the swords, the boat might sink. So it's about moving on, despite, like, it might be tough to move on, but it might be something that you want to or have to do anyway. And then the Fool is a leap of faith, like moving despite not knowing. And then the Ace of Swords, victory through the truth, like it's a victory card. I think is a really nice backup to both the Thinker and the like movement / new beginning energies of the 6 of Swords and the Fool. So it seems really reassuring to me. And I think as a general reading, it's quite reassuring for the love and the work reading as well. And speaking of the love reading, the relationship message that the Thinker brings you is, love is not logical, but when you choose a partner, it is good to have things in common other than desire. This is a time to weigh the pros and cons of your relationship. If there is enough common ground, go for it. If not, there are other fish in the sea. Don't force it to work. And should others tell you who they are, take them at their word. Now is not the time to indulge in fantasy. No matter what, in this case, the facts are the facts. And your love reading is very grounded to me. Like it's all pentacles, and you are an earth energy anyway. And the first card is the Page of Pentacles. It can be the offer of something, like someone offering you something stable, like a stable relationship, for example. The 7 of Pentacles is someone planting their seeds, and then yes, it does require some patience with those seeds you plant to bear fruit, but it's kind of capped off with the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knights are all about movement, like all the Knights are moving, but they move at different speeds, and the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest one. But not because he's lazy or anything, it's because he's meticulous. He pays attention to all the details and makes sure he gets everything right before he moves on to the next step. And yeah, I just feel like it's so... You just feel very grounded in your love life. Like, maybe you're offering someone something with the Page of Pentacles. Maybe someone's offering you, like, I'd like to be with you. And, you know, it's going to be stable, etc. And then the Seven of Pentacles, it's not my favorite energy, the Seven of Pentacles, because it's kind of a, like I said, it's associated with being patient, because yes, you planted the seeds, but they won't grow overnight. It takes a while. And it's kind of like, how will you nurture the seeds and the plants that they produce, and then ultimately the fruit that they might provide you? How do you get there? How do you work with them? Have you planted them in a different way this time? Or how, you know, just generally, how are you working this? Like, how are you putting in the work to get a result? And then, again, with the Knight of Pentacles being like this very grounded, slow knight that pays attention to the details. And I feel it very much speaks to Virgo. I just feel like you feel very safe right now. Or it just feels really secure to me. For the work reading... The prosperity message is, calculated action is called for now. It is important to sit down and plan a strategy. Focus on the steps you're going to take to claim your prosperous life. Lists are your friends now, so get out your journal. Write down what you're going to do today to signal to the universe that you're serious about attracting abundance. Your plans and strategies will yield wonderful results. Remember, your most effective strategic partner is Spirit. You will win this game, and your triumph will be for the highest good of all. There are two cards here, the Magician and the Page of Cups, that I feel very much speaks to what the thinker is talking about. Like, what are you going to do today to signal to the universe that you're serious about attracting abundance? I feel like that might be the Page of Cups, because the Page of Cups can be someone expressing how they feel about something, or maybe this is you expressing how you feel about attracting this abundance. Or it might be you just communicating how you feel about something to the universe, you know, no matter what it is. Or it might be you communicating with a Hierophant, but I'll get to that in a minute. The Magician, on the other hand, is a master manifestor. Like, he has everything he needs. He has all the tools around him or inside of him to manifest and get what it is he wants from the universe or just from life. And I think the Magician is talking about the bit about attracting abundance in the Thinker card. I feel like you very much are in a great spot to do this. Now the thing is, the Hierophant is a card that is quite rigid. It's about tradition and the norm, you know, societal rules. It's higher education. It does not do a lot of questioning, like, why do we do this? No, we do this because it's always been like that and we've always done this and that's just how it is. But the Hierophant can be talked about, like, what are your rules for how you work? It can be, are you living by someone else's rules? You know, if you're in a company. It can also be, it can be like a teacher, someone teaching you something. It can be you studying something, taking a course, or studying something to like progress or further your career in some way. So who the Hierophant is, I'm not entirely sure. I definitely feel like you are the Magician, and perhaps you are expressing to someone, for example, like a teacher, maybe you're expressing to them how, like, oh, I want this, or these are my feelings on what I'm doing, and maybe, oh, I'm not sure, or I don't know how to do this, and the Hierophant's like, well, I've got all these, you know, lessons and rules, and I have structure. Like, oh, because that is one of the things the first things I think of when I think about the Hierophant is, like, structure. So maybe... So perhaps that's what you feel like you need. Maybe you're calling out for structure with the Page of Cups. I kind of feel like with the Fool in your general about a new beginning and not really knowing what lies beyond, that's not really how the Hierophant would do things. So there might be this kind of clash between wanting to start something new and then someone or just your own stuff coming in saying, oh, I don't know about this, we haven't done this before, we don't know if this is how it's supposed to be done. But I feel like you're definitely getting backed up by Thinker, that if you're being questioned, if you're sure that I've done the research, I know what I'm doing, and I'm attracting abundance, and I'm communicating with the universe what I want out of what I'm doing, I feel like perhaps if the Hierophant were to stand in your way, you might be able to overcome that. But I kind of feel like the Hierophant would be someone who's helping you to, like, either if it's someone else or your energy, where you just feel like you're very much focused, and you've got structure, and you're working within a rule set that you accept, and you perhaps even enjoy working within. But I do feel like with the Ace of Swords, for example, in the general, and then you have the Magician, like, it just feels very powerful. And I think you're looking very powerful, Virgo, like, for these last 2 weeks of September. And these are some nice energies that you might be able to use to further yourself, or further your life in some way. Thank you so much for watching my video. And like I said in the beginning of the video, if you need more information about the decks I use or how to contact me, you'll find it in the description below. And I do hope that at least one of these readings resonated with you and you got some kind of message from it. And I hope everything finds you well until next time.